Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday, the 6th of May, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.7% today to 7,682 points, with the property sector leading the way, followed by utilities and financials. The big 4 banks did well on the back of Westpac's half-year results. More on that shortly. Both Commonwealth Bank and ANZ ended up more than 1%. Fortescue Metals Group jumped 2.7%, while Wesfarmers, WiseTech Global and Macquarie Group all did well. Among the large caps, CSL, Transurban, Woolies, Aristocrat Leisure, REA, Coles and QBE underperformed. Best on the day was Pathology Group Helios, while Goodman Group was another strong performer. Block was worst, following the lead-in from Wall Street. In corporate news, Westpac announced a 16% drop in its first half earnings to $3.3 billion as competition in the mortgage market hurt profit margins, but the result was better than expected and Westpac's share price jumped 2.7%. And Endeavour Group has recorded increases to sales in its retail and hotels division. Third quarter retail sales were $2.4 billion, up about 2.5% on a year earlier. Endeavour's share price rose just a bit today. Story number 2, the boss of the National Broadband Network, Stephen Rue, will take over running Optus. He replaces former CEO Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, who resigned in November last year following criticism of the way she handled a national network outage and a cyber attack back in 2022. Optus chair Paul O'Sullivan said Mr. Rue's experience in setting up the digital backbone of Australia would benefit the telco group. Mr. Rue has been boss of the NBN since 2018. His term was not due to end till late 2026. So Chief Financial Officer Philip Knox will run NBN until a new CEO is appointed. Mr. Rue was formerly NBN's Chief Financial Officer. He's also worked at News Corp. Story number 3, dry weather conditions have triggered a big downgrade in Graincorp's profit outlook and a 4% fall in its share price. The East Coast grain handler said a significant fall in farm production in Australia and stronger global supply of wheat and oilseeds is behind the downgrade. Dry conditions across much of Western Australia's wheatbelt region and problems within food manufacturing also added to the problems. Good harvests in southern New South Wales and Victoria had been offset by below average conditions in Queensland and northern New South Wales. Also, a rebound in wheat exports from Russia, despite international sanctions, has added to the global supply dynamic. Story number 4, the ASX is inquiring into the sale of $17.4 million worth of share options by the chief executive and chief financial officers of Kogan.com back in early April, just weeks before the company downgraded its outlook, sending its share price tumbling. Kogan.com says the poor sales update that sent the shares tumbling more than 27% was not material. In letters disclosed to investors today, ASX compliance officials queried the online retailer about the sale of the options held by Chief Executive Ruslan Kogan and Chief Financial Officer David Schaefer back to the company on April 4, according to the Financial Review. Now, the options were issued in 2020. Last month, Kogan.com said it would allow the 2 executives to sell the options back to the company for the difference between the strike price and a proxy share price that took account of the volume-weighted average trade over 20 days. The stock soared at the time to $7.90 when those options were sold. That was April 4. That's after Kogan.com told investors profit margins and earnings were strong. Following that update, the 2 sold their options, and then the company came out with a much poorer outlook. Shares fell 27.5%. I think we're going to hear a lot more about this one. And story number 5, Mexican authorities have confirmed that the 2 Australians and 1 American tourist who went missing in northern Mexico last week have died after their bodies were identified by their parents. The bodies of Australian brothers Callum and Jake Robinson, as well as American Carter Road, were found at the bottom of a well in an advanced state of decomposition in Baja California state earlier this week. The 3 foreigners went missing while on a vacation surfing near the popular tourist town of Ensenada, about 90 minutes south of the US-Mexico border. Baja California State Attorney General Elena Andrade told the parents and diplomatic officials that there was total institutional commitment to continue with the investigation of these unfortunate events until those responsible receive the full weight of the law. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 6th of May, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast And find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.